Okay, do you consent that I record this call for the purpose of uploading it into my YouTube channel, SA Infotainment Podcast only?
Yes, no problem.
Today's proceeding, Advocate Mngomezulu no Serero. I'll tell you what. Serero is matured. That guy is very smart. Yes, considered some of the mistakes, but I will tell you what. That guy is very smart. His maturity saved him. He's very matured. And before I allow you to speak, there was a question asked by Advocate Mngomezulu when he was asking about whether or not you can have guns are sold, and I looked at, I was waiting for his answer, and he said he refused to answer that. He meandering around the bush, and then Advocate Mngomezulu confined him into the specific point, and then he's like, no, remember that I worked on the evidence as it was at the office already. So I don't know the chain of evidence. I don't know what the things that might have happened. And I was like, this guy is smart. He's making sure that he distances himself from anything outside the work he did at the lab. And so he's like, whatever you want to ask me, it must be confined to the lab, inside the lab, not outside the lab.
I'll tell you why.
but did you note that he was confining them to a work done inside the lab, not outside the lab?
You know why?
Yeah.
The state, they now realize the defense strategy. They know what Mngomezulu would likely to ask, and they know what will Ramosipilio to ask, and others. So in their briefing, if you check yesterday, Serero was singing from 10 until the short argument. Was saying the right things. But immediately after the coaching was done, allegedly, but I think the coaching was done there, then he started singing the different tune. So today he knew that Mngomezulu will come with that anchor, and they know that they broke so many procedures. So in order for him to avoid other questions, he was forced to answer that question like that. So that he was trying to tell others that don't ask me anything that is not ballistic related.
Yeah, I saw
that. He forgets that he's a cop. And what Mngomezulu asked, it was a general question. It was not. It's got nothing to do with ballistic, but it's got everything to do with everyday life. As a cop, you know that people sell firearms across the street all over in South Africa, and there are illegal firearms in South Africa. So that he was supposed to answer it, but because he was evasive, then that's why he answered that question like that. He was just trying to tell Mngomezulu and others that, remember, I'm here to answer to the question, what did I see? Why did I confirm that this is positive? That's what he was saying.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's fine. Let's go for it.
So for me, there's nothing smart about that. It's just if you see that this guy is going to corner me, because one thing that I know is he did his own work. He went and watched how are answering questions, how are asking questions.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So now he's got an idea. If you check today, Ramusibili was too tactical, but he was confirming everything that Ramusibili was saying. It's a procedure, right? As he was doing yesterday when he was with Baloy. The thing is, he didn't want to confirm with certainty that, okay, here Mangena was not supposed to do that, here Mangena was not supposed to do that. He didn't want to do that because he wanted to cover up a colleague. He said, no, this is my colleague, I need to cover him up. Because if I will say, here it's wrong, here it's right. Remember even the question of collecting exhibits. Did you hear how he answered the question?
Yeah, I noticed a lot of questions that you know, the conclusion you came to, it's the same conclusion I came to, that, okay, here he's protecting colleagues. But at the same time, listen to the smartness in how he does it. The reason I'm saying he's smart is because you must notice all the like Abu Mangena. You could see that Mangena, you're just protecting yourself. But the smartness with this one is that he understands something. The way he answers questions, because most of the time he considered that, okay, here it was a mistake, here it was a mistake, but he will not say it boldly. He will admit with a small voice that, okay, yeah, here it was a mistake. But the way he does it, the way I see this person, this guy, Serero, he's trying to balance between saving his reputation as well as protecting his colleagues. So when he sees that, hey, you are cornering me to the extent that I can't come out of this, then he concedes. But when he realizes, when you haven't cornered him to that extent, then he's gonna come back and cover his colleagues a bit, as long as you have not cornered him. And that's why I'm saying he's must compare to all the type of witnesses that we've had. Listen to even the tone and the respect that he has. Compare him with all the other police that we've had. A police that came and was respectful, it is Gininda and who? I forgot who. The rest, they've been disrespectful. Even the likes of Abo Mhlaso, people who are in the management of South African Police Service, but they were very disrespectful, right? But this one, you can sense that, okay, there's a bit of respect. There's respect in how he answers questions, but he will dodge the questions when he wanna get around, when he wanna get away with it. But if it means, you know what I'm saying? It's smart because he was trying to balance things here.
He was, but if you are a judge, a presiding officer, a true presiding officer, the judge who's neutral.
Yes.
You were going to say some of the things you were going to say. You were going to ask clarity questions.
Yes.
For instance, when Mngomezulu said to him, "Give us one example of circumstances that would force you to go and collect exhibit."
You are cooking.
One. Did he answer that?
No, he ran away. He ran away, broad daylight.
Why am I saying that? He considered that there are circumstances because he wanted to cover Mangena.
Exactly, right? My point.
But now, when the question was posed to him that, okay, give us one, only one, there was none.
I fully concur with you.
Then now, the unbiased judge, he was going to ask, what would be answer that give us one, even if even if it's not a proper or it's just but one. Give us answer. What will force?
The judge once did that. I forgot the witness. He said, no, I need to hear how you answer that question. I forgot the witness.
It was Spain. He pressed him only once, said, you must answer that one.
I remember.
and which that we saw a judge there. That is why we are saying a clarification questions, not questions that will try to cover what the witness didn't answer. You understand? So that one, he was supposed to say, no, give us one, because I also want to know what are that circumstances, because it's a very, 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 very important question. Why did he go and take that gun at Cleveland police station? And remember yesterday, Baloy asked him, if the barrel was changed, what would you say about that? And he can, even there, he was stuttering because he was not expecting such question. And that question is very important, very fundamental question in this case now with that gun, because if they change the barrel with that of movie, and that gun is from US exhibits where Roloff was using, then obviously they are going to get those screws.
Oh yeah, no wonder he ran away from that question.
That is why he didn't want to. He said, "Don't ask me anything regarding the crime scene and everything." But he forgot that Mbalo yesterday invited that question of saying, "Okay."
He accepted an invitation outside Ballistic.
Outside his work, because his work was supposed to say, I compared the what you call the TB4 and TB9. He compared TB4 and 9, right? Test bullet 4 and test bullet 9, right?
Yes.
The question is, you want to verify my work, right?
Yes.
And when you want to verify my work and you want to come to a conclusion and agreement and confirm with certainty that my job was proper, right?
Yes.
Then I'm saying to you, I saw this because if you can check, yesterday he tried to explain the two patterns, a CMS.
Yes.
Consecutive machine trials and the pattern one. All right. Then now, he prefers the pattern one, not the CMS. All
Okay.
right. So now, you have how you have the peer, right, and Apple. All right?
Yes.
These are two things, two different things.
But yeah.
But they sometimes they look the same. There's a green apple and a yes. Now, I come to you. I said, no. I tasted a fruit. It was in a dark room. I tasted a fruit. And this fruit, it tastes like a pear. Right? And then, when you go and taste apple, and then you say it tastes like a pear.
I get what you're saying. I see where you're going.
Mangena used a CMS pattern or CMS.
I see where you're going.
And then now, and he used test bullet 5 and 8, right? And he wants him to come and see what he saw is correct or not, right? But instead of looking at 5 and 8, I don't have a problem with him using 4 and 9, 3 and whatever, but he needed to confirm 5 and 8. But he comes to court and tell us about TB4 and TB9. Why did he go to 5 and 8 as Mangena did?
I see. It's
Because
like
he's supposed to say, yes. Remember, his role there was to confirm, to agree or disagree with what Mangena saw. And when you go to a microscope, you need to check number 5 and number 8. One thing that he said yesterday, Bongani, he said when you remember the grooves, remember the barrel has the grooves inside.
Yes.
And when you compare from the test bullet, you need to turn both a test bullet and the exhibit simultaneously. All right? When you're looking at those grooves or those striae.
Yes.
But now, if you go back to Mangena said he was turning the test bullet, not the exhibit. He was turning one side, the right side, not the left side, for him to see the matching. But Serero, yesterday, when he was giving that literature, he was saying you are supposed to turn both of them. And both of them have to give you the same. And there was no way you need to increase the length so that you can see them, whether they are if you increase, you must increase on the left and the right. But our ballistic expert analyst was choosing to use the same side and increasing, magnifying the what you call the striae, so that they can look the same. That's why Mshololo was saying the left-hand side is not the same as the right-hand side, because on the left-hand side it was original. On the right-hand side was magnified or zoomed in. You understand? So that's why they were showing, they were like bigger. So now, my problem with Serero was, okay, why did you choose test bullet number 4 and number 9 instead of going and confirming exactly what you were supposed to confirm?
Okay. Now let's go to
and the other thing, Mongani, he was supposed to check. Okay, he said he went through all of them, right?
Yes.
But he doesn't remember which bullets were those.
That's true. Yes.
Then what is that?
Okay, let's go to Mngomezulu now, dealing with him.
No, the last part, lastly. The other thing, okay, he checked all of them, and then he doesn't know which one, which is CMJ, which is FMJ, right?
Yes.
Then again, something that it's totally wrong. It's questionable with regard to the Ballistic South Africa, right?
Okay.
He says the results are subjective.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah. You know what does he mean when he says as and it's according to what the examiner sees. So meaning the reason for him not to go and check Mangena, even if he went to Mangena's TB5 and 8, he might have not seen what Mangena saw.
Oh, okay, I see. So that's the subjectivity.
Yes, the subjectivity, meaning the chances
that is not scientific then, because remember, scientific, it cannot be subjective. So, you know, when we say scientific evidence, we are saying something. I think Nisi said it correctly when he defined the terminologies and what it does, what scientific evidence should have. You know, he defined it very nicely. Then if it is subjective, the way you are explaining it, then it's not scientific. Why is it scientific? If if it is based on what I see and what I think of it. It's not scientific then. It's a matter of
now
theory.
You understand. Then. Now you understand. That is why the question would be, okay, fine. If you are saying when Mangena saw whatever he saw on TB5 and TB8, and then you don't see that, then the follow-up question it will be, then what are we going to say? Are we going to say Mangena is right? He saw what he saw, and then when again you went to TB4 and 9, you saw what you saw, then you want to tell me that we should say you are right, even though they differ.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Now you want me to question the word subjectivity, because then if subjectivity means what you are saying, it's not scientific then. You know, when I say to you, because I think we must run away from what we call it, it's called what? Philosophy. Remember, philosophy, it can just, I can take one word and push it to a different direction. That's philosophy. Philosophy has got a lot of yin-yang in it. But when we say scientific, we are saying something tested, approved. And look, if I were to test it, I would still come to the same conclusion. That is scientific. And
probably scientific has equation. It's got a formula.
Exactly. So it can't be that then when what you see is subjected to your opinion and your skills. What I see is subjected to my opinion and my skills. No.
That's what he was saying yesterday. He said, though it's the results are, he said the CMS, right, is objective, but the results, the conclusivity, it comes from the examiner, and which is subjective.
Yes, therefore, I remember him saying that.
Yeah, then why are we saying it's objective?
Because it's subjective.
Because if it's objective, we should arrive to a certain answer, all of us.
No wonder when we study in a class, because the formula in which we follow in a class is it was scientifically based. Hence, we usually hence we will then come to a specific conclusion. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm saying to say it's hey man, no. But continue. There's something off about this explanation.
Yes. So now that's where like yesterday I told you that it's too technical, but there are so many loopholes. The other thing that you need to bear in mind, Bongani, there is a pattern method, right, which was used long time ago. Even though it's still there, but it's what necessitated the CMS method. We need to ask ourselves that question. It came forth because it's a new way, improved way of dealing with the ballistic results, right? Because it uses the lines, and those lines they need to be consecutively on the bullets, right? Which for me, if you want to compare the one that he used and the CMS that Mangena was trying to employ, the best way is that of Mangena. Even though I don't know if Mangena is using it, but he doesn't understand it, because if you check or if you listen to him yesterday, he was saying things like the valley and the contours, right?
Yes.
What is the valley? What are the contours? He was trying to say if the bullets, the lines, like the way Mushololo was trying to say Mangena that there is a breakage in between, right? Meaning it created the valley.
But wait, let me give people this definition. When you say something is subjective, here is the definition: based on or influenced by personal feeling, taste, or opinion.
Yes, correct.
But then we are looking for something scientific here.
Then now, it will answer the question of why did he shot first 2 shots, which is FMJ, then you find negative or inconclusive, then hence he went to again and fight another 8, not 8, 6. Because he fired 2 FMJ and then he went and fired 6 to make 10. When you check all of them, they are 10, right? Short. Yes. Of which Serero, what he didn't do, again, he didn't shoot his own fire.
Now listen to the definition of scientific. When you say something is scientific, you are simply saying it is based on or characterized by the methods and principles of science, the scientific study of a basically systematic, methodological. You know almost. I like this one. Systematic, methodological.
Yes.
How do you use the word scientific? At the same time, you're saying you also use the word subjective in a scientific study.
No, you can't.
Let's go back to Mngomezulu. We haven't touched Mngomezulu. We've been, yeah. So I'm saying to say, okay, I'm saying now we had Advocate Mngomezulu. You know how simple Advocate Mngomezulu was today. He never went for the technicalities, but he raised something very important, straight to the point, and said, according to the testimony of, according to the affidavit of Brigadier Bongani Gininda, he said it was a 38 special. According to the people in the house, they said it was a 38 special. I'm saying something that he put it to Serero today. And that alone, and I was like, wait a minute. Mngomezulu is up to something here. When he says, even Gininda's affidavit, it says it was a 38 special. So the question of now you testing a 9mm, linking it to this crime scene, where is it coming from? Let's leave the scientific evidence of this thing. The fact of the matter is, everybody else saw a 38 special, including the lead investigator. So how did you come to a different conclusion when? And that is where Advocate Mngomezulu was going. What's your take?
Okay. I understand Advocate Mngomezulu as somebody who wants to put the facts of 375 on record as much as he can, so that 375 should not die. And now, with that question, I hope that one of the defense lawyers should put it to Serero that, because he thought he's smart today when he was avoiding the questions, especially with regard to witness. I hope somebody will put it to him that I put it to you that the day Mangena was going to what's called Cleveland, he went and changed the barrel so that it will suit the narrative. So you confirm your confirmation. You confirm the wrong gun, because even the gun that the witness and even the IO, it's not parabellum, is revolver, then they leave it like that. Because they should put it to him. Remember, we need to, as much as they are trying to study how the defense work. What is important is Baloyi knows how Rata works, knows what Rata wants to hear. Rata wants to hear the word expert, the word supervisor, the word general, commander. So when he hears that person cannot lie, according to Rata. You understand? So now we need to learn Rata that he will say, because the defense didn't tell both experts that the barrel was switched, therefore the issue of the barrel being switched is not going to take it.
You know why? Two things that you've just said there that are very important. Two critical important points there. One is the issue of the barrel. That's a very interesting. That's a very interesting thing. But let me start with the one of Advocate Mshololo. It makes sense why Advocate Mshololo always goes for the qualification. I don't know if you've noticed that. She always goes for the qualification to prove that when you are called an expert, but you are not an expert. And she always get it right when it comes to the qualification. Even though the state knows that she's going to go there, but she always get it right. To get this so-called expert to confess that's I think that's where Mangena even ended up saying, me, I'm an analyst, not an expert.
Remember again, let me try to play an advocate, devil's advocate. Rata doesn't regard a formal education as qualification, therefore you are an expert. Rata talks about experience.
I remember that.
Remember, he's a lawyer. Rata is a lawyer.
Yes.
As much as Mugomezulu is a lawyer. Remember one day Mugomezulu said, we are all lawyers in this house, in this courtroom, including Rata. He was telling him that. So now, experience for Rata is very important. So how long have even now? Remember last week he said the lab is the biggest. He was trying to say you are experienced and you are working in a very big. So your conclusion or your results are as big as the qualification.
It's qualification by experience, right?
Yes.
But let's go back to this one, right? The issue of the gun, the barrel of the gun being changed. Again, there's some very interesting things there in that if you follow the chain of evidence, right, which the defense did, I think Advocate Mngomezulu basically in today's local court proceeding, he was basically challenging that to say, he was basically leaning towards that to say, no man, things got messed up even from the house. That is why he said in one of the videos, that is why I think one of the lawyers who said there is a witness that is coming to testify that he saw Mangena removing an exhibit in a crime scene, right? In other words, an exhibit was replaced by something in a crime scene. So, which then goes back to the barrel of the gun, which Serero is testifying on to say, no, yes, you're probably testifying on this thing. You probably got the results. You might probably be honest in your opinion. But by the way, that is where Advocate Mngomezulu was going. But by the way, you must remember, that is why Advocate Mngomezulu was asking the question, to say, listen, is there no a possibility that people can buy a gun? Because if, look, that's the invitation that he refused to accept, Serero. Had he accepted that invitation, Advocate Mngomezulu would have gone on to say, listen, now we had Mangena going to collect the gun and all the stuff. How do we know that there was no exchange of firearm there to maybe go get a firearm that will look like and will pin it to this? Because that's why Advocate Mngomezulu was going to say, you must remember that this gun that you tested, Serero, according to the investigating officers who arrested accused number 3, they took it for ballistic test. It came back negative. So do you follow there? So if it got negative, and then there is discrepancy in how the gun was, or how Mangena got the gun. Therefore, when Serero, you should know that what you tested, it's probably not for the gun that killed Senzo Meyiwa. It's something else. It's not even the gun that was used to kill the Alexander Taxi boss. It is something else. I don't know if you see well. But that's why I'm saying he was clever enough, because I was like, wait, let me listen to how he's going to answer this question. And then when he answered that question, he confined himself. I was like, that's very smart, because it would have opened a can of worms, and right there, he would have then had to explain things about South African police services that he did not want to explain or confirm. I don't know if you see what I'm saying.
Yes, I hear you. But how is he going to answer the question when they are going to say, what if Mangena changed the barrel?
Remember, his mission here is not to throw his colleagues under the bus. Under the bus, yes. So that's why I'm saying he confined himself to that, so that he doesn't have to find himself in a situation where now he has to throw his own colleagues under the bus.
But if he was smart enough, he was supposed to say, no, we are not allowed to go and do that. Yes, there are circumstances, but we are not allowed.
But that's throwing your colleagues under the bus.
Yes.
Which is what he doesn't want.
Yes, but you know why? Because him saying, allowing that small anyana hold that there are circumstances, then now, remember, the question that was posed to him was, especially, I think it was Mngomezulu. He said, did you know that Mangena tested this bullet with FMJ and found a negative or inconclusive result? Did you know that? And what was the answer? He said, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And that was a problem. And then immediately after he found that there's no match, then he went again and used the CMJ, right? Of which they are saying is the bullet that was found allegedly at the crime scene, right? Rule of say, used FMJ to find the match, right?
Okay.
Then now, why did rule of say use the FMJs?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because Mue uses FMJ's bullets.
Yeah, but anyways,
unless if they are saying, Mube is using CMJ, but you can use FMJ to find the results, right, of the CMJ. Then why did Mangena fail to come to a match with the FMJ?
That's a very interesting one. But again, so I think from my side, I noticed that from Advocate Mngomezulu, that question, I forgot the other one that was very important. The local questions that were asked by Advocate Mngomezulu, very important one. Let me ask, what did you note? I'm still remembering a very important question that I saw from Advocate Mngomezulu.
Okay. like I said, when I look at Mngomezulu's style, he wants to put the 375 facts on record.
Okay.
And then he wants to try to channel this thing from the from away from the investigation officer to witnesses, the eyewitnesses, saying we should listen to what the eyewitnesses are saying.
Oh, yes,
the eyewitnesses are saying we saw a gun with a wheel.
Not a
Why
gun.
are you using whatever you are using now? Why are you not using a gun with a wheel? Why the bullet? If you are not using, why are you using a bullet instead of the cartridge? Because if you are saying that was a 9mm parabellum, you are not supposed to use the bullet. Why are you using the bullet? What happened to the cartridges? Of which is something that they are not answering. That is what Mngomezulu is saying. It's fine, use your 9mm parabellum, but use the right exhibits, which are bullet jackets.
Here's another interesting one that was asked when Mngomezulu was got Serero to admit that there was no verification in this one I was like, that's big, eh? There was no verification in this guy's work, Mangena's work.
Oh yeah, when he was saying, but he was dodging, he was very evasive.
Yes.
Because Mngomezulu asked him who assigned him to handle 636. And that answer didn't come forth. Because no one assigned him. He assigned himself. It was Judge Maumela who assigned himself.
Our honorable judge. Now let's go to let's go to the evidence, the performance of advocate, things that you noted, go advocate, not advocate, Atene Ramusipini.
Yeah, Ramusipini was more tactical as well. Trying to catch him on his own notes, because he was saying there is. Can you explain the non-mesh? What did that with non-mesh exhibit? Something like that. Non-mesh exhibit. He must try to explain, because that was in simpler term was you use a different gun to come to a same result as the actual gun, like what Dave did, and what Dave told Mangena, that what you are saying you found there, I can do it with a different gun, of which he did it. And then he showed him that, you see, those marks that you are saying you are getting, I can get them with a different gun. But those are non-match exhibits, but they are positive results. So Ramusipini was saying to him, he was trying to tell him that, do you think Peterson was wrong in telling Mangena that?
You know, can I tell you something?
Yes.
This one might sound a bit controversial, but there was a time where the latest problem that we had in South Africa, there was a time where it was explained, and I won't mention it by name, but the thing that got us to sit in our houses, you know. You remember that thing?
Yes. COVID-19.
Aye, we are laugh. So, so there was a time where it was explained. There was a movie that explained it before it happened, by the way. This is what happened. You will see that the similarities between what you are saying and what I'm saying, or what Ramsipil is basically doing or showing the thing. So basically, there's this guy who is going to arrive in this specific country. So they inject him with a certain
virus.
Yeah. When he gets there, the virus creates what we call it flu. So they know that, okay, if you get to this country and now you have flu, they will treat you for flu. Whatever medication they will give you for flu, it will add in this type of medication and it will result in a deadly virus. And thus it then gets to spread among people. And that's what that movie explained. And I was like, sure, makes a lot of sense. So what you're saying is basically the same thing that I saw in that movie. That you create the possibility for the next thing. You kind of like, it's like a chess game. I force you into error, or I force you into a fault. And I don't know, man, how to explain it, but it's kind of like that's how you get this result, but you did not use the original method to get into this result. I don't know. I can feel that I want to say something, but I just cannot explain it properly.
Yes, that's what Ramusipidi was trying to show to Serero in brief, that, you know, what you are saying now, we hear that, and what you are saying, the pattern and stuff, but now give us a proper explanation of how can one come to a same conclusion with what you have, but using a different tool. As an expert, you should give us a proper, that's why I said, I don't understand. I fail to understand. So you are an expert. Give us an explanation. There and there, if the presiding officer was listening, he was trying to tell the presiding officer that don't listen to this guy, because even himself, he cannot explain this. Because
he's a liar by profession.
No, not that. Because the results are subjective.
And we have already defined, by the way, what subjective means.
Yes. So we cannot this court cannot come to a conclusion that these guys, what they are saying is true, because there's one guy out there who can use a different gun with the same conclusion. With the same kind of bullets and come to the same thing that you guys are saying. Then what are we going to say? All five guns are positive. What are we going to say? Which one is used there?
It can't be true. It can't be true. It can't be true.
That was what Ramusipidi was saying. He's discrediting the gun effect. He's trying to say we can use other things to nail these guys, but not the gun.
You know, let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you a secret. Hey, guys, the people who are doing DNA tests must be careful. Even I found these days that even DNA test
can be manipulated.
It is manipulated.
Yes, it's true. We know.
They manipulate it to say what they wanted to say. And the first time this time I was told by a social worker that, listen, the DNA test, this is how they manipulate it. She showed me that this is how they manipulate DNA test. And look, yeah. So I'm saying to say, people must not rely on once we hear the word scientific and then we conclude that it's reliable, factual, unless we know the processes followed, then we can say it's reliable. But if we don't know the processes followed thereon, then that thing is not reliable.
That's why Ramusibiri, that is why Mangena was running away from the question, even the same question that Ramusibiri was posing to Serero today. Peterson, Dave, found the same result that Mangena found with a different gun. So do you want to tell me that that gun Peterson used is the one that shot and killed Senzo Meyu? And if he can use 3 different guns or 4 different guns and
still come to the same conclusion,
then which gun are you going to use?
Hey,
that is what Ramusibiri was saying. Yes, so Ramusibiri, what he's trying to do with all his technicalities, he's trying to tell the presiding officer that don't listen to this because they don't have a proper formula that will eliminate all other guns and leave one gun. That we all be going to be convinced that this is the gun. They don't have that. Because
Vela, to be quite honest, if we are using a scientific evidence or a scientific method, we basically say, we can say, if we want to see, we can bring 10 guns and test them. Based on the formula that we'll be using, it will tell us it's not this one. And then we say -1. Not this one. -2, -3, -4. Up until it says, when it comes to the side, it says positive. And then you say, oh yes, this is what. Even then, we will continue testing. Let's say, for instance, we do it from gun number 10, counting down to 5. And when we get to 5, it tests positive. We will also need to test gun number 4, 3, 2, 1 to make sure that if we are to confidently say it is gun number 5, we must make sure that all guns are tested and they come back negative. Then we can conclusively and confidently say gun number 5 is the one. Gun number 5 is the gun used to in the commission of this crime. So there must be a clear evidence. Even if I were to give you the same thing and say test this gun, you must still come to the same conclusion and say, when we got to gun number 5, that is what we got.
That is science, not what we are hearing there.
But you know what we are hearing there? We are hearing a bit of maths, and I'll tell you why. Because maths, what it does sometimes, you can use a different route and you'll still come to the same answer. I may not put it into the right mathematical language, but there is some calculations where you use that's why when you go to college, they will give you the answer and say, show us how you came to we need you to get this, but at the same time you must explain how you got the answer.
I did math, my friend. Math is accurate. You got the formula. You just apply the formula, you'll get, even if you get different formulas, but the answer will be the same.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Even science, if you use different formulas, if the answer is the same, then now with this one, with the ballistic one, the imperfectionist of it is when it comes to a different guns giving the same result. Therefore, we cannot come to court and say what Serero said yesterday with confidence that this gun is the right gun, because there is another gun there that can give the same result. That's where the problem is. Hello? You understand?
Yeah, I hear you. But you get the concept I'm saying, that the concept I'm bringing here to say, it's like maths you use different, you can use a different approach, but you'll still come to the same conclusion.
Yes.
So in this case, I feel like they borrowed that thinking from maths to say, let's use the same gun and still come to a conclusion, notwithstanding the fact that the expert was going to be there, who was also going to do the same thing and still get the same answer and then present it before the judge and say, listen, if they concluded that on the basis of what they've done, it is this, the answer is this, therefore it's the gun, then I've done the same thing. What's your conclusion, Judge?
Yeah, I hear you. The other thing, Bongani, before I forget, remember the Mangena tested a gun with a license, parabellum, and he came to negative.
Yes.
Who confirmed that? Who confirmed that, or who verified that?
I think those ones, they did not need anybody to confirm them. I'm just saying. Please,
what if they were positive?
I don't know. I'm saying people don't ask me.
Give that gun to Peterson and let him shoot with it and see if he's not going to get the same smash now.
No, we can't give it to Peterson, that one.
We need to.
It belongs to someone powerful, so we can't.
We want the truth, right?
No. He said it with confidence that they will never, no matter how much they try, they will never link that one to the death of Senzo Mayu. Do you know have you heard how confident he is?
Mm-hmm. Because the barrel can be changed.
Hey, we didn't mention someone's name. If you catch feeling is your problem. You know, we never said so and so. We just said there's a gun that can never be tested because it belongs to someone powerful. So if you are not powerful,
he said he was tested, but no one verified that it's really it was negative. Who verified that?
I mean, I'm saying to someone that if you know that when you are not powerful, someone not powerful. So you can't be touched. You cannot catch feelings because you are not powerful.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we are up to something when you say
who verified
those results.
Mm-hmm. Those are the questions that the defense has to ask. And can that gun be retrieved? And Serero go and verify it. That's when you're going to see that the police department is rotten to the core. He confirmed it today when he was evasive. He was
so evasive, yeah.
He was evasive. What was the reason of being evasive? If you know the answer, why don't you just give the answer?
Yeah, I always say as we reach our conclusion, and I always say to people, I always say to people, when you, in fact, that's how I caught my then girlfriend, because I just looked at how she was answering my questions, and I was like, this girl has got something to hide. When you are evasive, then you, as a person who's paying attention, you will know that there's something wrong with that person. You need to interrogate that person further. There's something wrong there.
And if you check the minute when he was trying to be evasive, especially with Mugomizu, he was trying to crack. It's just that Mugomizu left him. He was starting to stammer and he was cracking. And I could hear that, no, this guy is starting to crack and he's going to lose temper. if Mngomezulu can press and press and press, I was going to sing.
But I don't think this one is going to lose temper. I think it's going to speak the truth without losing temper.
You mean
Serero?
Serero?
Yeah, I think he is not a guy that is going to lose temper like that. Yo, yes! As we need. We're gone. We're done. Bafana just scored. Yes. 94 minutes. I know we're done. Hey guys, please forgive me. It's Bafana pen versus South Sudan. Bafana. Hey, I was so shocked. I was like, the game has been too far too long. Now, right, Bashauchan. We're done. We need. I just want to see who scored. I'm checking who scored. Yo, what a beautiful goal. Who scored outside 18, guys? Hey, who scored this beautiful goal? It can't be Ashton Apollos because he has already scored 2 goals in one game. I'm just confirming the scorer, and then we wrap up on the other side. But what a beautiful goal. What a beautiful goal. We're done. Who scored? I think is... Who? Is it Mfuken? Orlando Pirates is giving us some good vibes. Umbata. Whoa. Okay. No, we're done. We won the game. Only 2 minutes to play. Yeah, let's wrap up. Now I'm excited.
No. Yeah, you are a South African. You love the country. Hence, you are so passionate about this sense of Mewa, because all the people who are passionate about this case are South Africans and are passionate about the country. They want things to be run properly, not what we are seeing, not this cabal that we are seeing. People are in jail, and because of people, I don't know whether I should say they hate them or maybe they just have bad luck, but something is not right in our country, and people who are supposed to make sure that law and order is properly followed are the ones who are breaking the law, are doing as they please, and for the money.
Okay.
Yes, because if you look at the whole SAPS, we are only left with
3 points in the back.
We are only left with Fanny Masemola to come and testify about Senzo Meyo. But everyone in the police is there. So from a constable up until Lieutenant Colonel and Stein, they're retired, and so we're only left with Fanny Masemola. So it's disturbing.
You know, you're making a very important point. But I must ask you this one before I let you go. This one is out of sense of your case. It's just crime in general. Who do you think we should have as the next commissioner? I hear a lot of people are getting excited about Umkwana. So do I. Looking at the man's performance. But I haven't seen a contender in terms of performance. That guy, he's a guy who stood and told Amatex owner Suguti, tell me what you want. You want war? And the guy says, no. We don't want war. He's like, okay, let's talk. Why are you violating the law? He's like, no, if you violate the law, no, we're not going to have peace with you. You must keep the law. Just because you are taxi owner doesn't mean you must violate the law. So I'm saying I haven't seen a contender, a man who will say, yeah, this guy is a contender to Ulo. But obviously there are people behind the scene that probably are doing a better job. We don't know. We're just talking based on what we are seeing. What do you think it's a good idea to have him as our national commissioner?
Currently, I hear Mkwanazi is doing a great job there at KZN. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not so sure.
Okay.
But when coming to a naming a person,
okay,
I'm not so sure. I'll not give you a name as this one. But my answer would be anyone who's willing to be honest with us, who's willing to apply law and order, 100%. No one should be biased, and no one should be in the pocket of the criminals. And then this one is going to be our commissioner. And you don't have to be a commissioner because you know a secret of somebody who's powerful, because you're not going to be objective.
Yes.
You understand? So anyone who will get that position with merit, then I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay.
If the current commissioner now is honest,
yes,
if he's honest and he wants to save South Africa from the criminals, I think by now you should have commended.
Okay.
Especially when coming to the Senzomiwa case, all the police that went there, they put the police department into disrepute. And if he's honest, if he's somebody who doesn't take nonsense, was going to call the meeting, even if it's not in the media, and tell all of them that if you are going to be called at Senzomiwa trial, make sure that you do the right thing, you say the right thing. Don't try and cover up. If your colleague has done something wrong, say it, that is not how police are trained to do. I don't know why he did that, but that is not how we are trained. Then leave it there.
Can I say something?
Don't say, hey, no, there is what we use this thing, maybe what I forgot, the English is depleted. We've been talking English the whole day. Some circumstances. When there's circumstances, do you want to tell me that there's no law, there's no procedure? You work with circumstances. In police force, you work with circumstances. And there is a commissioner who just keep quiet because you guys are working with circumstances. And a senior police officer tell the public that we're working with circumstances. What are those circumstances? You can't even name one.
Let me conclude by saying this. I will forever say this. Whatever happens in the Senzomiwa case, it brings the name and the reputation and the dignity of South African police service into disrepute. But I'm glad it's not a normal civilian who is doing it. It is police themselves. And I'm glad they are coming from different ranks. So when people have less trust on police will have no one to blame but themselves. But more specifically, the management of South African Police Service, who are supposed to make sure that when people look at South African Police Service in uniform, in vans, they are supposed to get fear. But I don't think it's what is happening. And I'm saying this because, and I'm not condoning, what I'm about to say, I'm not condoning it. And I'm going to tell you guys, don't do it. You do not beat a police in a uniform. You don't touch a police in a uniform.
That one is a treason.
I've seen it happening. There's a video where Mama Panyaza, the Gauteng warden, was attacked and beaten somewhere in Reche Park, which is around Boksbeek. And I was like, you do not, you do not beat a police. And I want to say this also on record, police are disrespectful. But avoid beating police, avoid touching police on a uniform.
We know.
A crime. You don't do it. You will rather fight him when he's off duty. Then it's something else. But when he's on duty, you don't touch a police in a uniform. Even if the gun is not there, you do not touch a police in a uniform.
Open a case against him. They will cover him up, but just open a case against him.
Exactly. Simple. Exactly. But we are saying this to say, guys, do not complicate your life by fighting a police in a uniform. Because there you are going against the state and they will punish you. So do not ever make that mistake of getting a courage to fight a police. They are annoying. Some of them are so disrespectful, and I've been disrespected by many of them. But also I've came across good cops. Some of them gave me a ticket. You know, a police give you a ticket as if like you are eating lunch at a restaurant, but it's giving you a ticket. I'm telling you, I'm like, this guy is so professional. Yes, sir. He's giving me a ticket, but it's like we're eating lunch in a restaurant.
Even myself, 3 weeks ago, I was on my way to Pretoria, and he stopped me. I was driving very fast. He stopped me, and then he said, no, I can see you are in a hurry, my friend. Let me just bribe you quickly so that you don't get to be late wherever you are going. But I can see that you are in a hurry, so don't worry. I'll be fast. So I'll be quick. And then I was like, okay, fine.
And he gave you what you deserve, eh?
Yes, he gave me a ticket. And we didn't fight and nothing. We were talking like normal women being like, okay, this guy is very good.
That is exactly what we are encouraging from police
and with respect. Exactly.
And that's what we are saying to a police officer who's listening to this, or to anybody who's in the South African Police Service. We are not saying our behavior will always be right. We are saying even when our behavior is wrong, the manner in which you approach me must show respect. But by you showing respect to me, that should not also compromise your job. You should still give me a ticket while talking to me. Very nice. How was your day? Hi, my day has been this. Hey, man, we are deviating. I will never forget this police as well. I'm driving on an entry. I'm about to offer him to Jimmy Steen, and then this police officer stops me and says, he says very nicely, I know you have a license. I know you got it the right way. However, because maybe the laws in the what is the thing, K53 are too many. I know that you were forgotten. So you see, you crossed that barrier line, and I know you didn't do it intentionally. I know. But
it's just that you were in a hurry. You understand? I understand you were in a hurry. You want to arrive where you are on time, so I understand, but you're not supposed to cross that line. So it's fine. Let me be quick and let me write the ticket, and then so that you can be early.
He says to me, but then my responsibility as a police is to remind you that you are breaking the law. And unfortunately, I will have to give you a ticket.
Exactly.
And we will forever be grateful for those police officers who are giving us tickets.
I'm
professional.
I'm about to get inside the church now.
We'll talk
to sharp.
Thank you.
Thanks, my brother.